Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Gents 2 Cents. I'm your host, Faff, joined by my glorious co-host, Mark, longtime best friend. Coming back at you another week of playoffs. Hopefully some better picks for your boy. Apologies for all the blemishes on my face. I look like I got beat up in an alley somewhere. I just had some food poisoning and diabolically violent puking, popping a bunch of blood vessels in my face, so
Fuff,
look
you
like
don't have
shit,
to
look
lie
like
to
shit.
everybody. You were so sick that Tomlin left and the Steelers lost. You've been thrown up for the last 48 hours.
Yeah, I couldn't even properly mourn for our loss in Mike T. I was really hoping he wouldn't leave. I kinda figured if they didn't win the playoff game, it was kinda gonna be wraps for that,
Yeah,
but,
let's kind of let's just start off on this. Uh, it's kind of a perfect case because you're a huge Steelers fan, and big changes happening over in Pittsburgh. Rodgers likely not to return. Tomlin leaving, and I'm sure you're aware. Tomlin did state that part of the reason he left is he just didn't feel respected or appreciated by the fans anymore,
yeah, no doubt. I
which is a
mean,
huge. I mean, in my opinion,
lame,
Tomlin was a good head coach, man. I think he did the
great.
best with what he could, and for the fans to push him out, I think they screwed up. I think they screwed up.
Yeah, it sucks because, like, I want them to succeed with whoever they go with, but it's people like my father complaining about Mike Tomlin, and eventually, he cracked, but, I mean, he's gonna make, I'm assuming he's going to TV. Anywhere he goes, he's gonna make a ton of money and he'll do well, but I'm hoping they hire some 35-year-old that I've never even heard of. Yeah, he's able to stay there for another 2 decades, because I mean, they hardly ever get well, they've only hired what? This'll be the 4th head coach ever,
Yeah, you
so
had Cowher,
yeah,
Tomlin, and I think you guys fired somebody, but
Chuck
the last time you
Noll and
did it was 1968, 1969.
not it was Chuck Noll, and then Bill Cowher, and then Mike Tomlin. I don't know if there was anybody before Chuck Noll. I'm sure there has been, but, like, that's before, like, the NFL and AFL merger, before they even had Super Bowls. So in the Super Bowl era, I believe we've only had 3 head coaches. This will be the 4th. So before they hired, I think, Chuck Noll at 35, Cowher at 36, and Mike Tomlin was at 35. So they have a record of hiring a middle-aged 30 and it working out. So I'm hoping that's what happens again, but
You guys gonna
I
try
don't
to go
know.
get Signetti?
No, no, I don't think there's anything moving him. I did see my dad texted me yesterday, which I guess he already came out today and said, no, that's not going to happen. The Notre Dame head coach, Marcus Freeman, I guess the Steelers sent him a message or something, but
Really?
another one of those guys that's not going to leave college. I don't think that's just one of those jobs. Like, I don't know, they could get much better.
So who would you like to see become the new head coach and or quarterback? Because I don't think you're gonna have Rodgers next year.
No, no. Mike T was the only thing keeping him there. It's the only thing that
Yep.
brought him there.
Yep.
Quarterback, I mean, it really is like we'd have to bring in somebody that's either a backup or on the free agent market and try to run it back with an old guy, or Will Howard's got to work because we're going to get a back end, 18, 19 pick again. And or we'll probably won't even be that high. It'll probably be in the 20s since we made the playoffs. And we're not going to get like a number one stud that's like guaranteed to work. I don't know if you saw, but Dante Moore, the kid that the quarterback for Oregon, said he was coming back. So there was like the number 2 quarterback off the board already. So I don't know. It's got to be the guy we got from Ohio State last year, or it's they're bringing somebody in that I don't know. It could be like a Kirk Cousins. It could be like I don't know. I'm trying to think of other guys that would be
Richardson,
there. That would no, they wouldn't go for something like that unless the
dude.
coach, like if it was a coach for
I
Florida or something.
I would die if Richardson went to you guys. I mean, what would you
I don't
even
think they would
think?
bring somebody like that in to start. They would bring somebody like that in to maybe be like a backup or like a practice squad guy. Like you can't even take a chance on him at this point.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
We're not taking anything off your guys' hands, that's for sure.
Come on, take our dirty laundry.
You wouldn't even get a good pick for him anyway. You need better than what we can give. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other backups out there that are viable. And the problem is with a lot of the guys, like you think of like Malik Willis, like a lot of these guys, you have to gear the offense to fit their kind of system. And right now, we don't have a head coach. So I'm assuming Arthur Smith is still going to be the offensive
Now,
coordinator.
what's the typical timeline from a head coach getting fired or stepping down to the team filling it? Because obviously, you don't want to go too long. Is that you think this is something that'll happen before the Super Bowl gets here?
I think a lot of teams, yeah, will try to get coaches before the Super Bowl. Well, because I don't think anybody else gets fired at this point. But typically early on, I mean, we talked about in the last video, you'd think these guys would try to get it done really quick before other nicer jobs open up, i.e. Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. Yeah, I was surprised Miami didn't hire anybody or the Giants didn't hire anybody. Guess, they both could have looked, like we said on the last video, both were looking at Harbaugh. That kind of was like a whole stop. Um, but, this year's kind of unique. I mean, we always get this many teams fired, but I don't know that we get these kind of caliber of franchises all open at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, truly, and this is going to get a lot of people's feathers ruffled, and they're going to say it's an exaggeration. But I mean, if you look around, the NFL is almost kind of going through a bit of a reset. Tomlin, that's a staple. Harbaugh, staple. And you look at, some of the quarterbacks we grew up with, uh, Rivers, Manning, Rodgers, right? Like all these guys, they're gone. And, you know, we don't know how much longer Andy Reid has. I mean, I'm sure he'll be back next year, but it seems like, and here comes the heat. It seems like the Chiefs dynasty is done. And you can say, well, you can have a bad year. Well, they didn't even make the playoffs. Wasn't even close. And it's just, to me, it just seems like the NFL is really kind of just resetting. It's like we're going through a new cycle because now you got the Patriots top contender again. I mean, it's like history is just repeating itself. And, well, obviously, I think the Colts missed the memo.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, do you see that? Do you think the NFL is kind of going through like a reset? Because everything from our childhood
Little mini
is,
mini reset. I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. You have like in between the dynasties with the Patriots and the Chiefs, you did have like other little, Peyton when he was with Denver Broncos having a few years. You had the
yeah.
Seattle stuff going on. You had Cam Newton with Carolina that had like a 3 or 4 year run where they were really, really good.
But when the Patriots dynasty was going, did they, before Brady retired, I think the year he retired, they didn't make the playoffs. You can fact check me on that. But
They had a break. He tore his ACL and they went like 11-5 with Matt Castle and still didn't make the playoffs.
really,
James Harrison actually tore his ACL. I mean, for lots of years, they didn't like win. I mean, they lost what 3 Super Bowls?
well, I'm just saying, like, not even making it
They
to the
didn't get there every
playoffs.
year either.
Not making it to the
Yeah,
playoffs
missing
is
the
just,
playoffs. The only year I can think of is when he got hurt. And I think there was one year they were like 9-7 when he had the long hair, right before they got Randy Moss. I might be wrong on that.
yeah. Well, let's side note,
Yeah.
let's jump over the other thing we wanted to get to is Harbaugh. We talked about it a
Yeah.
little bit. Excuse me. Wow. COVID. Can't be having that. Can't be having that.
Nah, you'll be look like me.
But not only that, got a baby coming and potentially 5 days. So no COVID. Anyway, let's talk about
Yeah, you
Harbaugh.
can't be getting sick.
Um, do you think releasing Harbaugh was the right move? Or do you think they should have released Lamar? Because I feel like you have to release one or the other. I mean, they had to do something after that season. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to judge Harbaugh off this season because Lamar was absent for a big part of it, right? And just then he had to nurse that injury. I feel like letting go of Harbaugh was another decision that I don't think was the right one.
Yeah, I think they were like the exact same thing happened, basically. It was just like fatigue of being good but not great, and I think he's always kinda had the excuse of, Mark Andrews drops that ball in the AFC
I
Championship, the
can't
field
believe he
goal
did
kicker
that.
misses. Before they had Justin Tucker, they had another guy that did that in a divisional playoff game where before they had Derrick Henry, he'd have 1, 2, and 3 running backs tear their ACL, before week 1. You'd think of J.K. Dobbins tore his ACL like 3 years in a row or something crazy. They've had insane bad luck. With that being said, you gotta change something, so I agree they had to do something drastic if they wanted to win the next year. I think they're taking the chance on Lamar's last few years of his prime because they think that they have a generational talent, and, they're gonna hope that they can find somebody decent enough to harness that, but I really John's not just like Mike Tomlin is really not the big X's and O's guy, and if he is a X's and O guy, he's gonna be an X's and O's guy on defense, not offense, so it was really never
Right.
his forte, although their defense didn't look great this year either. I don't know, it seemed like it was kinda desperate from both teams. Like, if you obviously don't think you had the pieces in place on the roster to, like, go out there and win a Super Bowl, how is it the coach's fault that you didn't win?
Yeah.
When
No,
you
I agree
know, like,
completely.
nobody expected either I mean, maybe the Ravens, beginning of the year, I think they're Super Bowl favorites, but
Yeah. No, I think the Ravens had
obviously
a lot of hype. Yeah.
Lamar goes out, everything changes, so, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to see. It looks like John Harbaugh is gonna continue coaching. I don't know if Mike Tomlin will, but sounds like the Giants are going after Harbaugh pretty hard, and I think he said he was interviewing with, like, 3 or 4 teams, or his agent said he was getting calls from
Well,
teams that don't even have coaching openings, so, I mean, it
I
could
did hear
be
that.
something wild.
I did see that he did get an offer from a team for 20 mil.
That's crazy. 20 mil's a lot.
Yeah, it is for a coach. It really is. What's
Yeah, Cignetti, if they win the Natty's gonna be making 15.
who do you think the highest paid NFL coach is?
I'm gonna say probably Andy Reid.
Bingo. Andy Reid
Yeah,
makes 20 million a year. Next up is Sean Payton at 18 mil. And then the
yeah.
third highest paid coach,
Let me guess.
they're tied actually. Third spot's tied. Let's see if you can get both these
Okay,
correct.
I'm gonna say Kyle Shanahan. Is that one of them? Hello? No, it's not. Okay, Sean McVay. Really?
It's Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh. Six.
Oh, well, I was thinking of current head coaches. Damn it. Well, you said there were 3. Who's the other one?
Well, it's Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and then Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh. So
Wait,
interesting fact
Jim or
there.
John?
John, I'm sorry. Ravens, John Harbaugh,
Yeah.
and
Huh.
Mike Tomlin. Actually, no, this says John Harbaugh with the Ravens at 17 mil, Mike's at 16, and Jim's at 16.
Okay. Doesn't surprise me. They've been there the longest, so they've probably accrued more and more over time. I was
Wow.
gonna say it,
The
and
lowest
Andy.
paid, the lowest paid quarterbacks are Mike Vrabel, Aaron Glenn, Kellen Moore, Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Pete Carroll, Brian Schottenheimer. Mike Vrabel better get a salary adjustment after this.
Yeah, but I bet they're still at, like, 10,
I don't know.
and also you gotta think those are you all name most of those guys you just named are on first contracts.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, do you want to jump right into the playoff slate?
Yeah, let's, I'm a bit embarrassed, but we gotta recap a little bit
Yeah,
last
let's
week. We
let's
need to do
let's
a
go
better
ahead and
job about
recap
doing
last
that.
week. Let's go ahead.
So, for the record, I, went 0 and, 0 and 6. Yeah, 0 and 6, and you went 3 and 3. So, Mark got off to a really hot start, smashed the Panthers as he's been smashing all year, which was surprisingly a super duper close game. I don't know if you watched a lot of it, but I had especially after the first, like, 10 minutes of the game, I thought it was gonna be a blowout, and then all of a sudden, that 4th quarter or 2nd quarter, really till the rest of the game, Carolina played really, really well.
Yeah, no, they kept it close.
Yeah, so 10.5 was definitely the right side there. I like I said, normally would be on the 10.5 team, but I was like, "No way." They do what they did to the Rams a few
That
weeks
was
ago, and
just
they
such a
almost pulled it
big
out.
spread. like I told you when we were recording the last episode, if it was like 9.5, I'd have to think about it. That's a touchdown and a field goal. You know,
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about it.
When they had to get a touchdown on, like, a 2-minute drive to win that game. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
real deal
I thought
sweat.
the Panthers were going to pull it out.
They had a real shot. Bryce Young
They did.
scored with, like, 3.5 minutes left or something.
Yeah, no, he's really turned it around.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely gonna have to roll with him again next year. If they
Yeah,
somehow
yeah.
get a positive record, they're gonna be super happy.
No more Red Rocket.
Is he still on the team?
Dude, I have no idea, but I wanted to say Red
Forgot about
Rocket.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
But yeah, super close game, great season for them. They'll look to turn it around next year in the NFC South, and then my Super Bowl prediction, the Rams is still in there. Got another road game coming up, which we'll get to later.
I am,
And then we had the Packers and the Bears.
yep.
Another game that I thought was over at halftime, and then just very quickly, missed field goal, missed extra point, another missed field goal, a turnover, and then the Bears' fourth quarter magic outscoring the Packers 25-6 in the
Yep.
fourth quarter
I just,
was insane to watch.
I just want to point out that probably 6 episodes ago, you called Caleb Williams fraudulent. Do you
I
still feel
still
that
think they're
way?
fraudulent. I
How
still
can you
do.
think he's fraudulent?
He didn't look good until the fourth quarter, and he looked great.
You
But
know what I
I
see?
mean,
I see the Bears in the divisional round and not the Packers. That's not very
yeah.
fraudulent.
But see, watching that game, and I'll give them credit, they won. But this is 3 Packers-Bears games this season. All 3 of them. Well, no, I guess just 2 of them because Packers won the first one. They choked. They had the game won very early, and they had to do literally nothing to win this ball game in the second half, and they somehow did worse than nothing. In the last game, when that Jordan Love got hurt in the first quarter, they should have won that game with Malik Willis, and then they gave up an onside kick and then a touchdown with no timeouts, and then that 2-point conversion. Then they lost in overtime. I just can't believe
Do you see Lil
they're
Wayne and Caleb
they
Williams are beefing?
his what?
Lil Wayne and Caleb Williams are beefing right now.
I did see the little Twitter thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. When you see Caleb Williams on the sideline, like in the middle of the game, like after he was throwing picks, he was like damn near crying. He was like screaming and like throwing shit and like putting his towel on his face. It's just like, dude, that guy's gonna like go insane when he loses one of these games. And it's coming. They just cannot be this lucky this many times in a row.
Yeah.
They're way
Well,
better, and Ben Johnson's a hell of a head coach, but
and then we had the Bills
jeez.
Jaguars. You sided with the Jaguars, didn't you?
Yeah, man, what a
Man,
game this was.
I knew I told you this is Josh Allen's prime
Yeah,
postseason. He's going to the Super Bowl. No, his kryptonite's gone. Mahomes ain't there. Mahomes ain't
yeah.
there. They're winning the Super Bowl.
No, and he was the exact reason why they won this game, and it literally came down to him versus Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence had a minute and change to get in a field goal range, and he threw a pick, and
I know. It was
Josh
great.
Allen got a touchdown and with a broken hand damn near or broken finger, and then I mean, he just had some crazy just like, "I'm gonna get hit so hard, but I gotta throw this ball," and it
Yeah, he
just
got the crap beat out of
dropped
him.
exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good. They're gonna win. They're gonna win it all. And
Yeah,
it
no,
was
I really
just
thought the winner of this game was very primed to
it
make it
was
all the way.
it was almost a great weekend. You know, the Jaguars losing is just thank you. God, I
Yeah.
can't stand the Jaguars,
Hey, they're
man.
gonna be a problem, brother.
They
They're
are.
gonna be a problem.
Well, you know what? No, they won't, because by the time the Colts figure out how to play football, the Jaguars will start going down again. So, give us about
Man,
4 years, Jaguars will get it out of their system, and maybe we'll start playing good football
4
again.
years. Yeah. Yeah, next presidential term.
Yeah, no, I was hoping that the Texans would lose too, like you were. If the Texans and Jags lost, I'd been happy, but whatever. Uh,
Yeah. Super promising for them going forward, though. Again, just like the Bears, looks like they've got their head coach that they want to roll with for a while. Looks like he's schemed up the offense pretty well. And I still thought that defense handled Josh Allen better than most defenses could. I mean, he really had to be a pocket passer in that game. You don't normally see him not be able to get out of the pocket as often as he could. Then we had the Niners at the Eagles, another disappointing game for Philadelphia, that has
Yeah.
that city, wanting to burn itself. I did not expect Sam Fran to come in there missing all their weapons. George Kittle out for the year now as well, gets hurt in this game, and they still do enough on offense. That Philly offense just looked abysmal,
Horrible. They couldn't do anything.
terrible.
I mean,
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley was damn near getting hit before he even touched the ball.
Yeah, line didn't play well, Jalen Hurts didn't look
No.
good. AJ Brown dropped a couple of passes that,
Yeah.
had
Yeah, he did.
he's
He had that
gone.
bit where, yeah, him and Sirianni, they got into it. Not really sure what happened, but it was pretty heated from what I saw.
Yeah, that, was a long time coming, seemed like.
Yeah,
But,
he's
yeah,
gone.
they're going into the offseason not feeling great about themselves. Luckily, they don't play in, that great of a division, but you never know. Jaden Daniels will be back next year. Um, if the Giants get a good head coach, they have a couple of young weapons. But Niners advance and get to play. I think they're the ones in the NFC South Bowl. We'll see when we get into our divisional games here. But in Sunday night, we had New England at home against the Chargers. Honestly, the worst game, maybe other than the Steelers game. I don't know that I'd say the Steelers game was better until the end of the third quarter, and then but the Patriots game was just super boring, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
Very defensive game. I
Yeah,
was
so
surprised the
was
Chargers just lacked any sort of push on the line. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. I mean, they had nothing all day.
yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't know. What did
crazy.
you think about that game?
That was boring, and I also thought the Texans-Steelers game was also boring. I don't really have a lot to say about the Chargers-Patriots game. We'll see. I think we'll see how much further the Patriots go. But the Texans Steelers game, man, I gotta give it to you. The Steelers defense, up until the fourth quarter, you guys were taking care of business. I mean, I don't know what happened on offense. Like the Texans defense just kept getting lucky. It looked like, but the Steelers defense was just lights out that game.
Yeah, they've been playing their hearts out the last couple of weeks, just trying to make that final push, and I can't blame them for anything. They did plenty. I mean, we had 2 turnovers in the first half and only got 3 points out of them.
Yeah,
Then we got another one in the third quarter, didn't get any points out of that one either. So when you're +3 in turnover margin, you're still losing the game by a point, 7-6. Football gods don't help you out. That was kind
yeah.
of predicament.
I can't. I feel bad for Rodgers, dude. If he's done after this year, his last career pass was a
Pick
touchdown.
six.
Was a touchdown to the
Yeah.
wrong team. That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough. I mean, I really was hoping that Mike T would stay and he would stay another year, and Will
Yeah.
Howard would get another year of teaching, and then we'd run Will Howard out there year 3. But a lot of uncertainty now. Not sure who the coach is gonna be or the quarterback. Offense might look completely different. I think we've still got DK on a 2 more years. I have no idea. I know they just extended Warren, but I don't know about Gainwell. I don't know about Washington. Defensive guys, I'm sure Queens do, or just a couple of defenders or I have to look at Ramsey. I mean, yeah. So could be a completely new squad next year. Hopefully, it's the same brand of football. We just play tough. But yeah, last week you went 500. I went 0%. So
It feels
hopefully
good.
turn it around this week. I'd like to point out in my defense, Vegas also went 0 of 6, which hardly ever happens. So
Yeah.
they lost their super behind. So this week I'm thinking they'll probably try to recoup some of that, but who knows? I thought they'd try to do that on the Steelers. Never had a chance.
Let's
So,
let's jump into next week or this week.
yep. Yep. So starting on Saturday, 4:30. Eastern, we've got Buffalo at Denver. This will be Denver's first playoff game at home with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Period. But first playoff game this year. What do you see? Looks like Denver's favored by a point and a half currently.
Real quick, you may want to pull the mic just a little bit from your mouth. You're popping it when you're breathing.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear the wind. So I'm gonna hammer the Bills here. I'm gonna go Bills, Josh Allen rushing yards on Kincaid, prop, whatever it is, probably receptions. I'm gonna go with oh shoot, who's the running back? Is it Cook?
James Cook.
Yeah, yeah, Cook. Um, I'm gonna hammer that, and I'm taking the Bills here hard. I mean, not even looking back. They're gonna win this game easily.
Yeah, I'm very inclined to take the Bills as well. Like you said, I thought Jacksonville was probably their biggest test, and if they got past them, I don't really see New England giving them any problems. They've already seen them twice, and Houston could actually, in a weird way, give them a lot of problems because of their defensive line. I mean, we saw them play in that Monday night football game earlier in the year, and I think Houston won like 17 to like 13 or something. It was super low scoring. But yeah, I'm gonna take Josh Allen over Bo Nix. Obviously, Denver's defense is what they are, but I don't think their secondary matters much in this game, considering Buffalo just doesn't have the receivers. They don't try to win that way. And Denver's run defense has, been kind of susceptible in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the
Seattle
Bills
and
are just great. They'll nickel and dime you. They'll nickel and dime you. They'll pull your safeties up, and then once you do that, they're going to hit you deep. And also, I don't have any faith in Bo Nix. I think he's going to crack under pressure. I've not been impressed with him all year. Yeah, no, this is probably the lock for me. This is my lock this week.
yeah, I like Buffalo. I'm also taking them. Argument, just Josh Allen doesn't really need to be
Yeah, that's all you need.
much else said.
Yep, agreed. And it's going to be the weather's going to be fair. Yeah,
Doesn't
Josh
matter for
Allen's no
him.
stranger. Yeah, the worse the weather, the better he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving
Next
right
up,
along, the night game, we've got San Fran at Seattle. Seattle is favored by a full touchdown, 7 points at home. What do you like in this game? Like I said earlier, George Kittle's definitely not playing, but
you
everybody
know,
else would be suitable.
I like Seattle here, but I don't like them by 7 points. I'm going to take the 49ers. I feel pretty good about the 49ers covering that spread.
Yeah, I think they're gonna play spirited. This place is gonna be super duper loud. The Niners defense looked pretty good against Seattle just a few weeks ago. However, that was in San Francisco. I do think the home crowd here does matter. I definitely think Seattle's the better team. I'm not a big Darnold guy. So I'm also gonna take San Fran plus a 7. I would not be surprised though if this is more of like a backdoor cover. Where like Seattle's up by like 10 and San Fran tries to, get a touchdown and get an onside kick or something. So I'll take the Niners here. I'm not super confident. They're probably the least of my favorite, honestly, teams left. I mean, I might even take the Bears over the 49ers, believe it or not. So yeah, we're both on the 49ers here. Next up, we got Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Houston at New England. New England's favored by a field goal.
Yep.
I already know where you're
Uh,
going here.
I'm going New England. The Texans, I think Mike Vrabel's defensive mind is going to give him fits. Drake May's looked pretty good. I think the Patriots are made for this moment. Vrabel's made for this moment. So give me the Patriots.
Yeah, if CJ Stroud fumbles 4 snaps this game, they're not
Not
going
a
to win
chance. Yeah,
like they
you
did
you
last
you
week.
have those turnovers against the Patriots. They will capitalize.
Yeah. So, I mean, by field goal is, you can almost see it being a field goal game considering how New England looked against uh, Chargers. And I think Houston's a significantly better defense. So, could be low scoring again. But I'm going to take Vrabel and the experience here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to flip. I'm going to take Houston with the field goal. I'm going to think it's like a 2 point win or 1 point win. I'll take the push. I think it's more likely Houston wins than New England blows them out. If they play
I
like they
think
did last week.
I
Drake
think New
May
England's
didn't
going to
Can
blow them
we
out.
at least agree Drake May didn't look that great last week?
he looked okay, but the thing is, CJ Stroud's not used to playing from behind. When he plays from behind, he gets flustered. So I think
Yeah,
the Patriots
but they
get
have
up by 10
weapons.
and that's done.
I think they have weapons that the Chargers didn't have. The only problem is, like, this game is almost the exact same game as last week, except Texans have better defense because both of their offensive lines are garbage.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just tough.
Henderson, I think
This
I mean, the
spread is
thing is,
kinda
you got
low, though.
the Patriots have 2 great running backs. You've got Henderson and Stevenson. And so running back by committee, I think, goes really well against the Texans defense, whereas the running back won't be as fatigued and you can just run their defense down, get them tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Time
wish
possession,
Pittsburgh could have done more of that.
yeah.
Did well in the first quarter. After that, couldn't run the ball again, but,
So
I'm gonna
you're
flip
going
and take
Texans?
Houston. Yeah, I'm gonna
All
take
right.
Houston.
So the last game is the Rams playing the Bears. The Bears are the home team, and the Rams are favored by 3.5 points.
Mhm.
I'm taking the Rams.
Same. Yeah, Matt Stafford looks like a robot right now. The defense does have some issues. They've weirdly feel like they've gotten worse as the years got on, but the offense is still clicking. Devontae Adams didn't look like he lost a beat last week. I could see them only winning by a field goal just like they did last week, but I'm assuming a Sean McVay team is just not going to make the same mistakes that a Matt LaFleur team makes. So I'm going to assume that when they're up 21-3, that they're just going to put them away.
Yeah, yeah, they're not gonna look
21
back.
to 3 at half, game over. We're gonna put them away. We're gonna run you into the dirt, not let you have the ball. Idiot. So if they do that, should win.
Agreed.
And the amount of money I lost last week, I might have to put the farm on that game and the week off on a good note. Um, but yeah, so for this week's spread picks, looks like the only difference we have is the Houston New England game. So maybe I'll be able to get a win before the week is out. I know as far as for our audience out there, I know most of you view individual videos or shorts. Just know that we will post the entirety of this video in one encompassing video. So if you want to really see what we're talking about in between cuts, you can do that. It's just like I think normally just Magic Week, divisional round playoffs titled something like that. And then again, keep reminding you when the NFL playoffs are over after the Super Bowl, we will be transitioning to basketball, golf, and other sports. So if you guys have preferences or
NASCAR,
something that you're looking for,
sprint
NASCAR
car,
even,
golf, badminton,
anything, well, mm, I might
Special
draw a line
Olympics.
there. I draw a line there. Um, but yeah, anything you got, we love the comments, even the bad ones. So yeah, keep us informed, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.